What's good, y'all? It's your boy Ezel. Welcome to my channel, E2G Smash. And today I'm doing something a little different. I want to share with you guys stories from the past. Your boy's been alive for quite some time now, so I got some stories that I've racked up over the years. So let me share one. Let's kick off this whole joint with a story that I'm sure is going to interest quite a few people. So today's story is going to start off with how I made 30 grand in 30 days and then lost half of that, which would be like 15 days. So I'm playing Sonic Mania, and this has always been a classic to me. Not Sonic Mania itself, but like Sonic, the original Sonic, the Sonic from the 90s. But yeah, so anyway, alright, so cool. It's 2017, right? And I am 2017, and just my whole 20s, I was basically just, it was a mess, y'all. It was not pretty. I was just going around, and financially, it was not the prettiest sight. There was a lot of bad things I spent my money on. Not bad things I spent my money on, but like I just wasn't wise with my money at all. I wasn't conscious of money. And by the time I would say my late 20s, like 27, I was pretty much fed up and done with it. I was like, you know what? If anything's gonna change, I've got to be better about money. So my mindset changed, and I started looking for ways to make money. So one of the ways was drop shipping. That might be another story. That didn't go as planned. I'll talk about that later. But the point is, I was looking for something, right? So I'm searching online, and I come across this guy named Dr. Boyce Watkins, and he makes a lot of sense to me as far as what black people should be doing with their finances, income, and how to, basically shift our culture in the right direction as far as, economically. And one of the things he talked about was investing. And so, the housing market and investing at the time seemed pretty, it seemed like, it was going to be a lot for me to have to do at the time, and then money and everything. And so I was kind of hesitant with that, but I was looking into it. And then one day I saw a name pop up on his channel that I recognized. And I'm not going to say his name. I don't know if he wants me to put him out there like that. But the guy's name was actually a buddy of mine. He was a guy that I went to college with back in Alabama. And I was like, wait, that's my boy. I know him. Like, I'm friends with him on Facebook to this day. Like, let me see what this is. And he came on there. He was talking about cryptocurrencies and how crypto could possibly help black people. And so automatically I tuned in, and my boy, he was talking about how he was making all this money and how it was, affording him a lifestyle that otherwise, he was already making good money, but it was just, it just added an extra layer of protection for him. So automatically I wanted in. I'm like, yo, I want in, teach me how to do this. I hit him up on Facebook, we reconnected, and I started learning everything there was about crypto, guys. I stayed up. I stayed up like I was on it like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. After work, I cut hair all day. I come home, I watch a little TV, and then for like 4 or 5 hours at night, I'm just studying everything. I'm learning about different types of charts. I'm learning about candlesticks. I'm learning about just money in general, and different terminology, finance terminology. Like, I'm really going to school all over again, basically. And I didn't realize how much I was learning, honestly. I just thought I was learning about crypto, but to be honest, guys, I was learning about more than just that. I was learning about essentially what you could call the stock market, and just the idea of exchanging currencies altogether. And so after I think I put in, it might have been like May, because I was skeptical about the whole thing, even though I was excited. So I think I put in like 20 bucks. I got the app called Coinbase. I put in like 20 bucks on Bitcoin or Ethereum or something, and I honestly kind of forgot about it. And I got to work, because working in the shop, I'm getting that money right away. But I remember like being like, oh, let me check my account real quick, and that $20 was now like 50 in like 2 weeks. So then I'm like, oh wow, this works. Like, okay, that was just $20. Imagine if I had put more. So that felt really good. That was kind of like okay, that was like, it was a small example, but it was enough for me to understand, hey, this works. This isn't fake. It's not a scam. You put your money in, you invest, blah, 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 blah. And I'm not going to get too technical and deep on this particular one, as far as it's more than just you put your money in and then you get it back at a higher amount. I mean, that's like the bare bones dry example of how this works, but I mean, there's technology behind it, blockchain and all that. I'm not gonna get that deep, that first into it, but the story is how I made this money, right? So let me get back to that. I asked my buddy, I said, yo, I've been researching all these different cryptos, all these different altcoins, and what would you say is the best currency to get in right now? Like, what can I drop this 500 on? Because now that I made the 50 from the 20, I'm going all in. I'm going, and they always tell you, never invest more than you're willing to lose, right? Because it could all go to zero. And that's with anything. That's even with stocks. It could all go to zero. So you willingly participate, understanding that there's a chance you can lose it all. It's not guaranteed. Definitely not guaranteed. So I said, all right, cool. What is that? What do you think that I can invest in that is looking pretty good over the next few months? And he told me about this privacy coin, which is called Verge. And at the time, Verge, it was a relatively new currency or technology, and the purpose of Verge was to basically act as a means like cash. So if everything goes digital, there is all your transactions are being recorded. All your transactions are clearly visible on a ledger that anybody can trace back to you. What Verge was put in place to do was to stop people or prying eyes from seeing what you're doing with your money, by, I think, throwing your IP address around or something, right? So it was a, relative, I mean, you had other currencies out there were doing the same thing, but Verge had a community behind it at the time. I don't know if it's still like that, but people were into it, right? So I said, all right, cool, I'm gonna put 500 on this currency. Let's see what happens, right? So I do that, I put the 500 on it, and I mean, it was like right after Thanksgiving, or leading up to Thanksgiving. I think I put the 500 on it sometime around Thanksgiving, and I just did that. I got my little app to monitor my account, to see my numbers, make sure everything's good. And it's crazy, y'all, because around that time it was a bull market, right? And if you don't know what a bull market is, basically that's when the market as a whole is doing nothing but trending upward. So all you need to know is everybody's making money in a bull market, pretty much. Everybody's making money. In a bear market, it's the opposite. It's hard to make money. Percentages are low. You're not going to get a high return fast on your money. And also, let me mention this: if you're comparing the stock market to the crypto market, the stock market doesn't get you as fast of a return, typically, as you would in crypto. Some of the things that you're able to get in crypto as far as percentage return on your money are way dramatically higher, or can be, than what you would see in a traditional market. And so that was the other thing that can kind of be addictive, I'm not gonna lie, is when you're seeing that money go up, you're seeing that money go up so fast, and it's just insane, you know. At the time I was in a group, it was a group of us, we were kind of all just sharing our portfolios, and I think it was when we got, me personally and another guy that was in the group, we got to about $20,000 after maybe 2 or 3 weeks. $20,000 in crypto profits, and it was still laying in our account. So all of us are kind of like, yo, is this even real? Because I've never had this much money at one time. He's never had this much money at one time. Other people, everybody's kind of like, this doesn't feel real. You know, my bank account doesn't have this money, and this is in my assets. So I remember the first guy, he's like, all right, cool. You know what? I'm gonna take some of the money out. I'm gonna take like $50 out and see if it's real. If it hits my account, we know we really got this money. So he winds up taking the money out, and we basically wait to see what he's gonna do or say about the money, if it's real or not. And like 2 days later, he's like, fellas, this is legit. So at that point, we're all ecstatic. Like we're like, oh my god, like, are you serious? This much money? And I know some people are watching this, probably people that are already crypto millionaires, and they're like, ha, you know, child's play. But trust me, that's a lot of money for anybody at any time. I mean, even if you make it, I can imagine, even if you got it like that, you still understand that's quite a bit of, that's a person's salary, you know. Maybe McDonald's or something, I don't know, but it's a person's salary still. So we're at 20K, and we're thinking, okay, when do we take this out? Immediately, when you start making that type of money, you start thinking about all the other things you could do with it, you know. And me, I was thinking of things like cleaning up my credit, paying off, you know, various things that I need to pay off. I'm not gonna talk on here. And you start making plans, man. You start thinking about real estate. Yeah, I started thinking about real estate, houses I want to buy, purchase, businesses I want to start. I had all these different ideas, and so I just messed up on that game. I don't know what I was doing. And so what wound up happening is, the closer we got to Christmas, the higher the numbers went. And I think around Christmas time, it's funny because around Christmas time, we're going to seeing, you know, family members we hadn't seen, uncles, aunties. And I remember being around my uncle. I'm not gonna say which uncle it was, but it was one of my uncles, and was it my uncle? Was it my uncle? I think it was my uncle. I'm not certain now. Yeah, I think it was my uncle. Anyway, they felt like, or they heard that it was a scam. Because at the time the news was cryptocurrency, Bitcoin is all a scam, blah 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 blah, and people didn't understand it. And you know, I only could tell you what it did for me financially. So my uncle is like, yeah, you know, how's it going for you? They had questions and whatnot, and all I could say was, it's doing very good for me. I never told how much it was doing for me. I just said it was doing well for me. Never really told what was going on. Mind you, I hadn't taken the money out yet. Hadn't taken it out. And so it was funny because I would meet people, older people usually, that had heard about it. It was in the news, but all of them kind of all had the mindset that it was a bunch of crock and that they shouldn't get involved in it. But once again, the irony was they were talking to somebody who had that money in their accounts and was, you know, living proof that it works. So Christmas passes, and up to New Year's, my money jumped from 20K to like 29,000, so roughly 30 grand. And around that time, the president, which I will not name, He came out with this. I saw this news, MSN or something. They were reporting that the president was working on a bill that would basically every trade that you made in crypto. So if you trade from, let's say, Bitcoin to Ethereum and back and forth, and you made a profit from Bitcoin to Ethereum or vice versa, that transaction that you made would be taxed. And I mean, like, if there was a profit, you would be taxed for that the difference of what you made. And the thing about it is, if I made what I made, think about what the people that were trading it, right? The people that were trading currencies, they were doing this. They would start out with, like, let's say $1,000 or $500, and they would basically ride the wave up in value. Let's say Bitcoin goes, let's just say hypothetically, Bitcoin goes from 1,000 to 2,000, right? A person put in 1,000, they ride it from 1,000 in value to 2,000. Once it gets to 2,000, they move their money from Bitcoin back into cash. The value of Bitcoin drops from 2,000 to 1,500, and it starts to rise back up. They put their 2,000 back on Bitcoin and then rise up with it from Bitcoin being 2,000. 1,500 to, let's say, 3,000, right? And then it starts to go down again. They move their money back, and they just keep doing that. And in a day, in a week, in a month, they could 1,000x their money doing this. And I mean 1,000. I've heard stories of people doing this. So it was a very exciting time to be into crypto. It was very exciting because so many people were making so much money so fast. It was like stupid money. It didn't make any sense. People were doing little to nothing, making all this money so fast. I mean, it was addictive. I'm not gonna lie, it was addictive. You found yourself just constantly throwing money into crypto, and you know you didn't need to. You know you need to stop. I mean, a person could go from having a problem buying Lambos and ridiculously expensive homes for no reason to being addicted to investing, or what's said to be investing, and can't stop. Like, it was bad. People were doing it left and right. People were putting their houses, taking out loans against their homes, just doing ridiculous things that I wouldn't advise. But people were doing that. So I'm sorry guys, I got sidetracked. Back to the bill that this president puts out. So the bill gets out there, people get word of it, and what starts happening? The value of the currency that I put all my money on started to drop. And it went from 29 to 28 to 27. And this was all in a matter of days. And so my idea was, I'm not gonna pull out just yet. I'm gonna wait until January 1st, 2018. And the reason I want to do that is so I can focus on the taxes part of it for 2019, right? Instead of 2018. Yeah, if that makes sense, right? I didn't want to have to think about all of that for that coming tax year, which would have been 2018. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait till the 1st, and then I'll pull out. And by the time I pulled out my money, I had about 15 grand. 15 grand. I mean, still, that was a come up, but I mean, guys, can you imagine what would have happened if I had the whole 30? Like, alright guys, so that's the story. If you like that story, give me a like. Please like this video, it helps me grow. Give me a comment. Let me know what you thought about this format. If you like hearing stories from me in my past, let me know down below. Let me know what you thought about it. And also, if this is your first time being on my channel at all, feel free to look around, see some of my other shows that I have going on, and also subscribe and hit that bell notification. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace. Peace.